Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel, and in this video we are going to talk about how to ask for what you want. So if you are following the hypergamous mindset on Instagram, you already know that this topic was coming, so here it is. Okay, if my light keeps changing, it's because I'm using natural light. So I did a poll on my Instagram stories the other day, and I asked you ladies if you are comfortable with asking for what you want, particularly from men. And 75% of you all said no. So we are going to address this issue in this video. And if that's something that interests you, please keep on watching. So before we get into the topic, ladies, I just want you ladies to subscribe to this channel. I'm on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I do want to start doing live videos on this channel because I feel like doing live videos is going to be a lot more interactive. I can answer your questions, and also I don't have to edit as much. So I'm thinking maybe like a weekly live or two. That's my goal. I know currently that you can go live on a laptop, but unfortunately I can't do that because I do not know what is wrong with the camera on my laptop. And I have had my laptop for years, and I've never used the camera on that laptop. So yes, I'll have to go live using my phone. But anyway, ladies, yes, my backdrop is a Christmas backdrop. Okay, get it out your system. Let's move on. I'm filming in a different room today. I'm trying to avoid my cats because they've been acting up lately, and one of them just had surgery. Bless her heart. Anyway, that was a lot of rambling, but let's talk about this. So how do you ask for what you want from the men in your life and the people in your life in general? First things first, I want you ladies to know that men are not uncomfortable. Men are not uncomfortable about asking for what they want. They will ask you, any and anyone, for what they want. Most men are like that. So men will straight out ask you to do something that goes against your belief or goes against your nature. They will ask you to do something that makes you uncomfortable. Some men will even ask you for money, and they don't care if you say no or anything like that, because if you watch my last video about dealing with being told no, you'll understand that they don't care. They straight up are going to ask for what they want. So I'm going to teach you ladies how to be comfortable with asking for what you want. First things first, we must address, if I'm looking down, I'm looking down at my notes. So first things first, we must address that there is a problem in modern society, especially with men in general. Not just men, women. There are a lot of issues. There is an imbalance in nature, and we have to fix it. So it's going to take a while. You got to address that there's a problem. Men are not generous, and the reason why men are not generous is because most men it's not in their nature to be generous, because most men are not exactly what I would call masculine. It is masculine to be a giver, and it is feminine to be a receiver. So if you have a man who is not giving, who is not willing to give, etc., then obviously there is a problem, especially if this is a guy that you're dating. If you grew up with a father who wasn't there for you and who did not provide for you, you're going to have a hard time finding men who are providers, and you're going to have a difficult time being comfortable with asking for what you want, simply because you grew up without a father, or maybe you grew up with a stingy father or cheap parents, etc. And a lot of it has to do with inner work, and that's something that we deal with in my private group on Facebook. If you are interested in joining, hit me up on Instagram. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do before you start asking for what you want is letting go of the fear of being rejected. You gotta let that go. I'm not gonna go much into it because I did make a video about this recently. The second thing you have to address is being afraid of losing a guy because you asked for what you want. Ladies, that is the craziest thing, because I know women actually believe that, you know, if they ask for what they want, they're gonna lose the guy. And ladies, honestly, that is stupid, and I'll tell you why. The reason why you're afraid, you know, of losing a guy if you ask him for what you want is because you see him as the prize. If you see a man as a prize, if you are afraid of losing a guy because of what you ask for, or because of what you do, or because maybe you text too much, etc., it's simply because you see him as a prize, and you are trying to win his love, his attention, whatever it is some of you ladies are looking for. Honestly, you all know I don't really promote love on this channel because, you know, that's not my thing. You gotta stop being afraid of asking for what you want, and stop being afraid of losing a guy just because you ask for what you want. Because a lot of you ladies are vibrating on fear, and the reason why you are afraid of losing a guy, like I said, is because you see him as a prize. You seek validation in this guy, and you are seeking his approval. The only person's approval that you need is your approval. That's it. The only validation you need is validation from yourself. You gotta understand that men have always been playing games with us, and you have to understand that a man's goal, no matter who he is, his goal is to get sex for very little investment as possible. So if he can get sex from you without even taking you on a date, he's gonna take it. But will he respect you? Will he care about you? Probably not, because at the end of the day, men like to chase, and they only respect the women that make them do that. Another thing you have to take into consideration also is that if a man is comfortable to fix his mouth to ask you for something or ask you to do something, then you should be comfortable to ask him for what you want. Okay, so you have to remember, ladies, you have nothing to lose. If this is someone that you have been in a relationship with, and you know, honestly, I don't know how much I can help you. I can only help you from the beginning, because you have to start from the beginning of the relationship. From the moment you meet, from the first date, you gotta start asking for things. And you have to remember that closed mouths don't get fed. So I don't like the mindset where women say that, you know, you shouldn't have to ask, you know, men should just give. You know, men are not mind readers, and some men, they don't know, they just don't know. Just ask. Some men, and these men are kind of rare, they already know what they gotta do. They ask you what you need. They ask you how you're doing. Like, there are men like that, yes, but most men are not like that. They can't read your mind. They don't think that they need to just give without you asking. There's a game that men play when women ask for things, maybe for money or gifts or something. They will be like, well, are you a gold digger? What about love, etc. And Shira said it best. If you love me and I ask you for $100, why can't you give me $100? If you love me, it doesn't make any sense. That's how you flip it, because they're gonna throw the love thing at you, and you just use it against them, because at the end of the day, men don't know how to love. And that's another video coming up. We're going to talk about that, okay? They don't know how to love. You also have to remember that you have nothing to lose, especially if you have just met this guy. So you have nothing to lose. He's either going to give you what you want or he's not. And if he doesn't give you what you want, you know what to do. Also, you know, don't worry about it. Like, you ladies have to be comfortable with asking. And I'm going to share with you ladies how you can become comfortable in a minute. So, you know, keep watching. Another thing that some men will do, especially men that you are talking to online, or men that you just met and you're just dating, they would say stuff like, well, I don't give money to women that I'm not in a relationship with, or I don't give money to women that I haven't met. Understandable, because they don't know if you're a real person. They don't know if you're a catfish. This is why I don't promote online dating. But if this is someone that you have met in person, and he's saying that, your rebuttal is, well, I don't have sex with anyone that I'm not in a relationship with. It's that simple, and then you ghost them. Okay? Don't keep people around who have a problem giving you what you asked for, especially if you're asking for something, you know, like reasonable. You know, you're not asking for the world. You're not asking for a Ferrari. I don't think the women who are watching this channel, I don't think they are dealing with men who can just buy them a Ferrari, which is why we all here. Okay, so you're gonna have that. You're gonna have guys telling you that it's okay. That's their game, but they're not gonna get what they want from you if you can't get something as simple as a gift or some money or whatever you're asking for. Because whatever you're asking for, you deserve to have it. So how do you ask for what you want and be comfortable with asking for what you want? If you are very uncomfortable and do not know how to ask a guy for what you want, my advice to you is start asking people around you. Start asking your friends, start asking your family, your co-workers. Just start asking people for what you want. It may not be money, but just come out and ask, and you will be amazed by how many people will agree and give you what you want or help you, etc. An example is you can ask someone to go to the store for you, or you can ask if you know someone, maybe you have a family member who is visiting, you call them up and be like, hey, can you stop over to this place and get me this? Most people are going to say yes, and this is from my experience. If you do not believe that people are not going to give you what you want, that's basically what you're going to attract. So start asking your kids, start asking, if you have a boyfriend, start asking your boyfriend. And if you have a boyfriend that you don't know how to ask, he shouldn't even be your boyfriend anyway. It's time to move on. Okay, so ask your daddy, ask your mama, ask your co-workers, ask your co-worker to make you a coffee, ask your co-worker to print something for you. Just start asking. Like every single day, you ask at least 3 people to do something for you or do you a favor, even if it's something very small, because this is how you can get people to give you what you want by just asking. Because if you can get someone to say yes, or if you can get someone to do something for you or give you something once, you can get them to do it again. And it's the same principle with men. Okay, so once you've practiced asking everyone around you, then you can start asking the men in your life or the men that you're dating for what you want. You always do a generosity test, because if you have read the book Whole Tactics, there's like a headphone test in that book where he talks about, you can ask him to get you headphones. I don't like that book and I don't like that tactic at all, but they're different. You can ask for different things. Let's say your date is coming to pick you up. Let's say it might be a lunch date or early dinner date. Call him up and say, hey, oh my God, my favorite perfume just broke. Can you please stop at the mall and get me the perfume, because that would make me so happy. And like you call and you sound very sad, like, oh my God, what not, this is your first date. It could be anything. Maybe you need eye drops. Just get creative, ladies. Like, think, because I don't want everyone asking guys to bring them perfume, because that would mean everyone is going to be doing it and the guys are going to catch on. The guys will catch on. These men are not stupid, ladies. If he agrees to do it and he does what you ask him to do, that's a very good prospect, and that's someone that you want to keep around. If he shows up and he doesn't bring you what you want, don't get upset yet. Ask him, hey, did you bring this thing that I asked for? And if he's like, no, well, I couldn't make it or whatnot, and then you'll be like, okay, well, let's go get it, and get him to buy it for you. And since you're going on a date, you did not bring your wallet. It's that simple. But and if he agrees to do all that and he pays for it, that's a keeper. If he's like flat out no, or is making excuses, just end that date immediately. Like, you're wasting your time. Another thing that I would advise is that you ask in person. Always try to ask for what you want in person, especially if it's something big, or like you asking for a sum of money or something like that. You ask in person and you just come out and ask and say, hey, I need $500 to do this or do that, how much money you asking for. And if he asks why, because some of them will ask why, you'll be like, well, my grandparents was sick during the coronavirus. I mean, we thought they had corona. We spent a ton of money at the doctor, and I basically just spent all, like, most of my savings on my grandparents or something. I mean, first of all, the fact that you have to explain yourself, that's not a keeper, but explain yourself anyway. If he asks why. But if you're explaining yourself, and if you had to explain yourself before he agreed to giving you what you want, that's okay. But you may expect you to explain yourself every time you ask him for something. And that's not someone you want to keep around. That's someone you can, it's not someone you want to keep around long term. You can keep him around short term for whatever short term goal that you have. But if he wants you to make an explanation as to why you asking for like $500, I would not want to keep this person long term at all. If he's like, okay, sure babe, I'll get it for you, I'll help you, whatever you need, that's a keeper. Because asking for what you want is what is going to help you figure out if these men are keepers, or not, or if you have to ditch them. Because ladies, we don't have a lot of time. We can't allow these men to waste our time. Because I hear stories of women talking to guys online for months, weeks, and not getting anything from these guys at all. And that is baffling to me. Like, I don't even understand what the hell is going on when that happens. But it is what it is. If you're over 35, and let's say you have kids, and he asks for an explanation, you just say, well, oh, my kid need this money for football practice, or whatever excuse. I don't have kids, so I can't come up with excuses for you ladies. You'll come up with your own excuses. If he asks, why don't you ask his father, you figure out an explanation to tell him. But obviously that is somebody that you don't want to keep around, because I just feel like, men asking for explanations and to why you asking for money, or you asking them to do you a favor. Like, I just feel like those men are not men that we want to keep around, because these guys will ask for sex and we don't be like, why do you want to have sex, why do you want to do this, why do you want to do that, why do you want to do this position, etc. Like, why you want to do, like, we don't be like that. Okay, we either oblige or we don't. So the guys that are asking you why and asking for an explanation, okay, just keep a tab of that, and just categorize him as someone that you're not going to keep around. And I think the next video I'm going to do is how to categorize men. So, because a lot of women do not know how to categorize men, and that's a little bit concerning. I think that's all I have to say for this. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're asking your friends or people around you. You just have to get comfortable with asking. And the reason why I say to practice on your family, friends, and co-workers is because I want you to get comfortable. I want you to ask someone at least 3 times every single day to do something for you, do you a favor, buy you something. Like, keep doing that. And listen, people are either going to say yes or they're going to say no. Like, I worked at my last job, the receptionist, a really pretty girl, and men would come and offer her stuff, but she would also ask, and she would ask everybody. She would even ask me, but I wouldn't give her, because I know that game that she's playing. So I'll be like, girl, I don't know, maybe later, whatever. And that's what I'm like, because I recognize that game. Because these girls, they are used to asking, and they are not afraid of being told no, or you're not giving them what they want. But once they realize that once they realize that they're not going to get what they want from you, they just stop asking. And it's the same thing. If you can't get what you want from this guy, stop asking and just move on to the next. So I really hope this video was helpful, because I just feel the whole issue is just to get comfortable, which is why I recommend practicing. And if you're dealing with guys who are expecting you to have explanation as to why you're asking for help, why you're asking for money, why you're asking for him to fix your car, etc., whatever it is, wow. Just know that you keep him around as a short-term trick, and that's it. So I gotta go, ladies. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye.